All right, everybody. Lloyd Hannison here from the Nerd Nest. Today we're doing a Stadia video. We're looking at this week on Stadia. It is a Tuesday, so we normally get the blog post on Tuesdays talking about all the great Stadia awesomeness that is coming to the platform. But it's the last Tuesday of the month, which means that we also know what our pro games are. But this was done a little bit different than normal. Usually it's all part of the blog post. We go there, we find all the stuff out. Stadia tweeted this out about 15 minutes before the blog post came out. So I don't know if they're trying something different or whatever, but they let us know about the game. So we're going to go over that a little bit. We're going to talk about the other stuff that's in this week on Stadia as we are going through the news. Again, my name is Lloyd Hannison from the Nerd Nest. You can check us out here at nerdnest.tv. You can follow me on Twitter at Dasme. Would love to chat with you. But let's get into it. So there are only 5 more days standing between you and new games arriving on Stadia Pro, including, that's interesting, we'll get into that in a second. The games that we're getting this month on Stadia Pro are Killer Queen Black. If you're not familiar with Killer Queen Black, it is a multiplayer asynchronous style gameplay where you can be the drones, the queen, and you can ride the snail. I forgot the name of the thing that you're riding. But this is going to be good. This is going to give a lot of life to this game. It's going to give a lot of new players the possibility of playing this game. And it's going to be great for the platform, we'll say. So Killer Queen Black is the first one. Then they get into Valkyria Chronicles 4. Really, really fantastic RPG. We talked about it on the show multiple times. If you're excited about that one, you can now play it for free with Pro, which is pretty fantastic. Grime, which we'll get into in a second. It came from space and ate our brains. This game, I did a first look here, so if you want to check out what the game looks like, you can do that. Just do a search for It Came From Space and Ate Our Brains on the Nerd Nest channel. But it is essentially this is more of a cinematic trailer. It doesn't really show what the gameplay looks like until the end. But you're essentially a dual stick shooting to kill all the aliens in this world. You get different power-ups, different things like that to kind of make your gameplay go through. Had a hell of a lot of fun playing this game, so I can't wait to see what other people think of It Came From Space and Ate Our Brains. But interesting enough, Triangle Studios, the maker of that game, said, so excited to see that it's on Stadia Pro, but also something else, and very exciting, will be making its way to Stadia soon as well. Triangle Studios is making a game called From Space, I think is what it's called. I think it's From Space. I think that's what it is. Yeah, From Space. So I would assume that would be the game that is coming to Stadia, which is great news as well. Finally, before we get into Grime, Epistory Typing Chronicles is a game that you play by typing out words. So you're dialing things, you're typing things. I was reading the word dial on the screen. A lot of people that have played this said it's really awesome. I have not played this one, so I'm really excited about getting to this one. I've almost picked it up numerous times on Stadia, and now I'll be able to play it on Stadia Pro. But last but not least, this is the big game for everybody. Grime. Grime, which is an action RPG, very like 2D. It reminds me of like Salt and Sacrifice, very much like kind of Souls-like 2D kind of thing. Really excited for this game, and the fact that it's coming to Stadia Pro essentially on the release day. I think it comes out this Thursday, I want to say. I could be wrong, but I think that's when it comes out for PC, and then we're going to be getting it August 1st on Stadia, which is fantastic, wonderful, and awesome. If you want to see a little bit more about what the game looks like, this trailer shows off some of the graphics a little bit better, but man, this game just looks... It looks scary, it looks spooky, it looks fun, it looks like it's going to be hell to play at some points, very, very kind of like Souls-like in that regards, by looking what some of the enemies do and how you're attacking them and things like that. So we're getting Grime. That is fantastic. That's a fantastic thing. So what do you guys think of our pro games for the month of August? Killer Queen Black, Valkyria Chronicles 4, Grime, It Came From Space and Ate Our Brains, and Epistory. But the sentence is there's only 5 more days standing between you and the new games arriving on Stadia Pro, including... so a lot of people are thinking, hey, maybe that means there's going to be another game as part of Stadia Pro. I'm not going to be greedy. 5 games is a great number for Stadia Pro titles. But if this means that we may get other stuff throughout the month, that would be fantastic as well. I know a lot of people were predicting that Ark would be here. Who knows if and when we're going to get Ark, because that was announced so long ago for a summer release. It's still summer, so it could still come, but that would be a nice kind of stealth release partway through the month as well. And then after this tweet, they got into their This Week in Stadia blog post, talking about a lot of things, including there is a free play weekend. Let me just boost up the font size a little bit. There we go. For Marvel's Avengers and Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the official video game. So starting on July 29th to August 2nd, you'll be able to play the full games of Marvel's Avengers and Olympic Games. Olympic Games totally makes sense. The Olympics are going on right now, so why don't you let people play for a weekend? And if they love it, if they love the family-friendly gaminess of this game, they can pick up a copy. I believe it's on sale as well. And then, of course, Marvel's Avengers. I love this game. I know a lot of people don't. I loved it. I played the single-player story solo. It is a multiplayer game. You can play with fire teams of, I think, 4 people. I played it completely solo. I spent 80 hours going through all the content in the game, getting all my tunes up to max level. But I haven't touched any of the DLC. I guess it's you don't have to download it on Stadia. Content, the additional content. I don't know what you're gonna call it on Stadia. But there's Hawkeye. Has been added. Kate Bishop has been added. I haven't played through any of that story content. And then, of course, we have Black Panther coming in the future as well. So if you want to check out Marvel's Avengers, maybe you've heard about it, maybe you heard some bad things about it, maybe you just didn't have time when it came out, it's going to be a perfect time to jump into it. And then one more thing they talked about, one more item. Control Ultimate Edition is on Stadia right now. It was a stealth drop. Well, I guess it wasn't a stealth drop because it was part of the blog post. Control is a game that I played on last gen and also played it on my Xbox Series. And I'm actually looking forward to checking it out on Stadia as well to see how everything kind of compares. If you're not familiar with Control, it's I don't want to spoil anything. It's set in a world, but I'm not going to talk about it. And it is it's kind of like a mystery with a cult and like multiple dimension stuff going on. The game is fantastic. You get like superpowers playing this game where you can basically throw things at people with telekinesis, and you can do a whole bunch of different things, multiple jumps and floating and all that cool stuff in the game. I absolutely loved this title. It's on Stadia right now, $40 US. You can see I'm on the Canadian store, so it's $54.99 on Stadia up here in Canada. And you'll be able to play this just amazing game. It is one of my favorite stories over the last year or so of new games that I've played. I really got into the game and played a lot of it. I don't know. I connected with the story. I wanted to find out all the secrets, all the weird stuff. I did a lot of the side quests as well, and that is on Stadia right now. So. Some great news. 5 pro games coming in August. Marvel's Avengers and Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the official video game, which is like the longest name ever, is going to be available for a free play weekend from July 29th to August 2nd, which is fantastic. And then Control is on the store right now. So let us know below. Are you going to be picking up any of the games that are announced? Well, I guess there's only one, Control. But are you going to be playing any of the pro games? Are you going to be buying any of the pro games if you're not a pro member? If you're not a pro member, I mean, it's such a great value. I don't know why not, but maybe this will be the month that you do get pro. Or will you be spending any of your weekend playing Marvel's Avengers or Olympic Games Tokyo 2020? Let us know below. We'd love to hear in the little comment section. Make sure you hit subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for notifications, all the YouTube stuff, so that we can talk to you here about all things Stadia. So, yeah, I think that's going to about do it for me. Lloyd Hannison from the Nerd Nest. Thank you for dropping by and checking out this video, and we'll catch you here on the next one. Have a good one, everybody.